The Return of Godzilla was released in 1984, a celebration of the 30th anniversary of the original film, and was the first Godzilla movie in 9 years after the financial disappointment of Terror of Mechagodzilla. This movie also marks the beginning of the Heisei era of the Godzilla franchise. Like many modern movies today, The Return of Godzilla completely ignores the previous timeline of movies except for the original 1954 classic. The story is pretty simple. Godzilla, as you can guess, returns and threatens Japan once again. This time, though, Godzilla has destroyed a nuclear submarine and has inflamed tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union. This puts Japan in a terrible situation where the two nuclear powers are willing to nuke Godzilla. I really like that this movie puts Godzilla and Japan in the middle of Cold War tensions, especially after the past few installments had a heavy focus on aliens and a much sillier tone. Getting into the actual movie itself, there are some cool sets, and I really like the design of Godzilla compared to some of the previous Showa iterations. Godzilla really does feel like a villain in this story, which I usually prefer compared to him being the savior of humanity. Other than that though, I must say that I think this entry was disappointing. Godzilla is really cool when he shows up, but he just kind of falls asleep for the last part of this movie before walking into a volcano because of bird noises. The characters are also nothing to write home about, and while I like the Cold War backdrop, I wish they had done more with it. I think the main problem is that the movie has a serious tone, which was a good choice, but when you make a serious movie it needs to be well made. There are no other monsters or cool subplots happening to distract you from the boring story that is horribly paced and takes forever to get moving. When Godzilla shows up, it's pretty good, but when he isn't on screen, it's just not that interesting and it's a very mediocre film. A serious reboot of Godzilla with the Cold War tensions and 80s filmmaking sounds great on paper, but the execution left me very disappointed. 4 out of 10. If you like Godzilla, give it a watch. If not though, I must say that there are better Godzilla movies out there.